This is George from High Tech Legion. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Define R4 from Fractal Design. The Define R4 is the newest mid-tower from Fractal. It is the revision from the Define R3. It's not really a reinvented case so much as it is a Define R3 which has had some significant yet subtle changes made to it. At first glance, it looks almost exactly identical to a Define R3. Again, the really nice glossy black front plate, also available in titanium, opens up, and you see soundproofing in the front, two 5¼ inch drive bays, fan vent, and we now see a 3-speed fan controller built in up front. The Define line has been characterized by the fact that it is made to be an ultimately silent case. It uses noise reduction material all around inside the case, as well as the Motherboard system, which allows you to choose between optimum noise reduction or optimal airflow. We'll get a look at that when we get inside the case. A couple of the differences that you may or may not be able to pick up taking a look at the front. It does look a little bit squatter than the Define R3. Reason for that being the body has actually been widened, and that is to accommodate more room behind the motherboard tray for enhanced cable routing. Other than that, like I say, it looks very, very similar. Taking a look up at the top of the case, we see audio headers, reset, power button, now 2 USB 3 headers as well as 2 USB 2. USB 3 obviously an upgrade from the Define R3, which previously did not have that. We also see 2 fan spots. Each one is capable of either 140 or 120 millimeter fans. Of course, a 240 millimeter radiator can go up there as well. Moving over to the left side of the case, as you can see, the intake vents are right on the side of the nose. That is all your air intake for the front intake fans. Nice black plate. As always, Fractal Design uses very, very solid steel in all of their cases. You've got an opening on the side for a 140 millimeter or a 120 millimeter intake fan, and as you can see, it's completely blocked up right now behind there using the Motherboard system, which is going to keep the system a little bit quieter if you're not installing a fan into the location. Over on the left side, we see a blank side panel. Once again, nice matte black. Fractal uses beautiful finish on all of their cases, and of course you can see the front intake vents up at the nose. On the rear of the case, you see the I/O opening, as well as the 140 millimeter exhaust fan included up top. That is a Fractal R2 Silent Series fan, the retail variety, not an OEM fan. 7+1 PCI expansion slots. The extra one over on the side is great if you're going to be adding a fan controller, a USB PCI card, or a FireWire PCI card, any type of expansion card that doesn't need to be hooked to the motherboard. It's actually going to get, you can hook it up, get it out of the way, and it's going to be there, accessible, and not take up any of the drive or the slots in your motherboard, for anything that would have to plug into the motherboard. And of course, down the bottom, we see the opening for the PSU. On the bottom of the case, we see the Define R4 sits on 4 rubber feet with chrome trim. Also on the bottom, removable dust cover. Easily removable, washable, and replaceable. Power supply fan and optional 140 or 120 millimeter fan that can be added to the bottom of the case. With the nose of the R4 open, we get a look at the new mounting system for the fans. Very simply, latch and pull down, and one clip, and tray is removable. Conceivably, you could put a 240 millimeter radiator in here as well, though there wouldn't be a whole lot of room for fans. Fans themselves, toolless installation, 4 clips on each one, and they will pop right in and out. So really changing fans up front here couldn't be much easier. And put it back into place. Simply put it down, clip, and done. Very, very easy fan change in the front of the Define R4. The inside of the side panels of the Define R4 are lined with acoustic dampening material. As you can see, they are acoustically dead. This helps a great deal in noise reduction from fan noise or any other noise you might be getting from within your case. As you can see, you have the mod vent here. This screws in with 4 screws from the other side, just as you would a fan. What this does, it's going to block that up with acoustic deadening material on top, keeping things quiet in case you're not going to use a fan here. If you are going to use a fan, it simply pops out and gets replaced by the fan. Taking a look at the interior of the Define R4, really nice looking space, good and spacious. 7 expansion slots plus the 1 side slot, all thumb screws, black of course with the all white trim, as always from Fractal Design. As you can see, you've got a 140mm exhaust fan. That is a Silent Series R2. 140mm intake fan up front in front of the hard drive cage. Also a 140mm Silent Series R2 second generation fan. They are using the retail fans in this package. Plenty of cable routing options, all with rubber grommeting. As you can see, fan inputs, power switch, and all of your other front header inputs coming right into the chassis. Obviously you can route them any way you like. Interesting setup on the hard drive cages. Of course, Fractal uses the white steel hard drive cage. These are not tool free. You do need to screw the hard drive into the tray, but the tray is then completely tool free, slipping in and out with just a pinch. The top of the hard drive cage, 2 thumb screws hold it in, and is completely removable. So you can see the 140mm fan, that's going to open up your airflow quite a bit right there. Also going to give you a lot more space if you're using a very large video card. But as it sits, as you can see, you've got a good amount of space for just about any video card you could possibly conceive. And 2 thumb screws puts it right back into place. So you've got a lot of flexibility here, some very nice options, good cable routing options all throughout. If you take a look up at the top of the case, you'll again see 2 mod vents up top in place, which are removable and can be replaced by 2 140 or 2 120mm fans. Obviously, one or the other or both, or a 240mm radiator for water cooling. Back behind the motherboard tray, you can see we've got a lot of room for cable routing. You can see there's a good amount of space between the back of the motherboard tray and the back of the side panel. There's 26mm, so you've got a lot of room for cable routing back here, even your thickest cables. Now, of course, there's plenty of stamp areas to tie down your cables, so you're really going to be able to do some nice cable routing. You're completely open here into the front of the case as well. Access obviously very easy to the back of the hard drive trays. Now, taking a look up here, you've got a really nice big generous cutout in the motherboard tray for accessing back plates on the motherboard. This is fantastic for changing CPU coolers. You don't need to necessarily mount your CPU cooler outside the case. It's going to be very easy to do within the case, and you've got plenty of room to do it. The other big thing here is you've got 4 screw holes right here. This allows for mounting of 2 SSDs right to the back of the motherboard tray. You've got plenty of room for it. Mounts here and here. Only downfall, of course, is going to be if you ever have to change it, you're going to have to pull out your motherboard, which is going to require you pulling out everything except for the power supply, basically. But they will mount back there, which is going to save you some room if you want to remove the top hard drive cage. Mount your SSDs back here and 3 data drives here. You've got space for 2 SSDs, 3 data drives, or you've got the 8 up front, obviously, which gives you quite a bit of flexibility in the hard drive area. Fractal Design puts out probably the top quality cases in their price range. They have impeccable fit and finish, use top quality materials all throughout. Their design and engineering is outstanding, and the Define R4 is absolutely no exception. Very spacious for a mid-tower case, as you can see. Plenty of options. The 5.3 hard drive tray, top of the hard drive tray being removable. Space for 2 SSDs on the back of the motherboard tray. Very, very large cutout for backplate in the motherboard tray. Excellent cable routing options, all grommeted. Beautiful nose on the piece. 2 140mm fan spaces up front, one included. Tool-free installation. takes seconds literally to install a fan up front. You've also got 3-speed fan controller up front, 5 volt, 7 volt, 12 volt. Really nice looking all around. Sound deadening material on the side panels, modu vents and sound deadening material up top. Just all in all, a beautifully built case from Fractal Design.